Shabbat Shalom. If you want to sing with me, then first you have to sit down. You could grab a prayer book and turn to the top of page 70. We're looking at the black page numbers, the top of page 70 would be a good place to begin. If you look in your prayer book to the top of page 70, you'll see Hine Matov. How good it is for all of us to be together on this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Hey, look at your clock. Look at your timepiece. What time is it? That's how we roll at Orami. Right on time. Top of page 70 in the prayer book is Hine Matov. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam ya. Everybody sing. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Take a deep breath and sing. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, Hine Matov, ya la la ya la 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 la. Hine Matov, Hine Matov, ya la la ya la 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 la. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. If you have a prayer book next to you, grab it, open it to page 358. We are in the month of Elul. I like those of you that might get an email from me this month. I salutate it. I've never used that word before. I hope it's a word. I salutate it with the phrase, have a cool Elul. It is the Hebrew month right before the high holidays, Rabbi. Rabbi, it's only a few weeks. Yeah. Yeah. You have to write a sermon. High holidays are coming. Yeah, so let's get in the mood. This is the month to get in the mood for the high holidays. Hashivenu, is that on page 358? Hashivenu? Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva. Chadesh, Chadesh Yamenu, Chadesh Yamenu kekedem. Chadesh, Chadesh Yamenu, Chadesh Yamenu kekedem. Hashivenu Is Avinu Malkeinu on that page as well? Turn your thing on there.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, there you go.
I totally missed why these were the 4 songs you were doing for this Shabbat.
When you looked at the order?
Yeah. I'm glad
Did you look at the bottom where I said maybe you'll blow the shofar tonight?
Yeah, I totally am into that too. In fact, I have the shofar. It's all planned out. Why don't you sing this song? I'm going to greet people.
He's actually going to go get the shofar. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Anenu, Ki en banu masi, Asevanu tzedakah v'chesed, Asevanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshiyenu. Avinu Malkeinu. Everybody sing. Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu. Chanenu Anenu. Ki en banu masi. Page 20 in the prayer book. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashem, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim. It's not page 20? Page 24 then. Okay, we're going to try this again. Page 24. See, it's just another thing I have to say I'm sorry for in 3 weeks. Shall we sing?
Let's sing.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashem, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Yadadai, Yadami Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachur l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh
Shabbat begins, but not just any Shabbat. This is the first Shabbat of the month of Elul, the month immediately preceding the high holy days, the Yamim Noraim, those awesome days of turning inward, of looking inward, of looking at ourselves in the mirror, if you will, figuring out who we are, who we could be, who we should be, what we need to do to take those steps to move in that direction, to become the one we are intended to be. It's cleaning up our relationships. It's finding our spiritual center. It's spending a little more time reaching out and lifting up others instead of being focused on ourselves. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah, repentance, prayer, and tzedakah, righteous giving. Those change the direction of our lives. Maimonides in Hilchot Teshuvah says, although the sounding of the shofar on the new year is a decree of the written law, it is an allusion to deeper meaning, as if saying, awake, O sleepers, from your sleep. O slumberers, arouse yourself from your slumbers. Examine your deeds, return in repentance, and remember your Creator. Do not be one of those who forget reality on account of the groundlessness of time, or go astray their whole year in vanity and emptiness, which is neither effective nor salvific, that won't save you. Look to your souls, improve your ways and your works. Abandon, every one of you, your harmful course and your conscience, which is not leading you towards goodness. Tonight, we begin that process moving into Shabbat, centering ourselves, learning words of Torah, celebrating community, celebrating two young people preparing to take the steps to become bar bat mitzvah, both bat mitzvah, and celebrating the holiness of the day. We have tonight with us many guests who are here with us for the first time, or some the first time in a long time. If you are here with, if you are here with Madeline as she prepares to become a bat mitzvah, let me have you please rise. Her bat mitzvah is tomorrow, so a lot of people are around in. And to all of you we say, Shabbat Shalom. Sit on down. And if you are here with Mia, who becomes bat mitzvah next week, so the out-of-towners aren't in yet, it's going to be a more intimate crowd. Let me ask you to please rise. Nice. And to all of you we say, Shabbat Shalom. Sit on down. Now there's a few people here who are here with us for the first time, or the first time in a long time. If that is you, let me ask you to please rise. I know who you all are. So. Okay, and while you're here, do us a favor. We create community, of course. There's a great oneg there. But before we go, we create community by the work that we all do, reaching out to others, connecting in. So if you'll just say your name, and we'll all say Shabbat Shalom, and say it like you mean it, okay? So just each one of you tell us your name. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. Sit on down. We got some good cookies in there for you.
Carol Ann.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Like second cousin once removed?
No, just second cousins.
Second cousins. And Shabbat Shalom.
Eveinu Shalom Aleichem. Eveinu Shalom Aleichem. Eveinu Shalom Aleichem. Eveinu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem. Eveinu Shalom Aleichem. Eveinu Shalom Aleichem. Eveinu Shalom Aleichem. Eveinu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleichem.
We're lighting the Shabbat candles. The blessings are on page 2. We'll be blessed together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'tzivanu le'halikneh v'tzivanu v'tzivanu ציוונו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. הלה לה 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 יאללה לה יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה יאללה לה 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 יאללה לה
Turn to page 28. We're going to turn to page 28 and then flip over to 30. We use the black numbers, not the blue ones. We're calling ourselves ready to worship. Then we're praising the creation of this world and the ordering of the stars. Let me invite you to rise if you're able. We face the ark.
Adonai, Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Alalai, Alai, Alalai, Alalai, Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Leolam Vaed, Leolam Vaed.
Page 30.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro mahariv aravim vechokma poteach she'arim ובתבונה משנתי ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם בריא כרצונו. חושך מפני אור ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו אל החי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני Amari Arabi Alalai Alai Alalai Alalai Alai Alalai
Page 35.
Don't know what to say, then listen the chatter that gets in the way, and listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappears, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen to our God. You can hear it from the top of the highest hill, but from the valley below, it can come from the edge of the universe. It can come from within your soul. Close your eyes and listen. Listen to our God. Listen to our
Rabbi, she's going to do that.
Let's turn in our prayer books to page 36. And we invite Mia up to lead us in the chanting of the Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uveleftecha vaderech uveshochbecha uvekumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha vehayu letodafot ben einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem Lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Emet, stay on that page for a moment. This is a fascinating prayer. It's actually a piece from the book of Devarim of Deuteronomy. And it's a reminder to love God. But if you look at the third line of the English, take to heart these instructions which I charge you this day in Hebrew, V'hayu, in these hadvarim, in these words, ha'ela, these words, asher anochi mitzavcha hayom, these words which I command you this day you shall place upon your heart. Teach them to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, but as something between your eyes and on your hand and your arm. It doesn't say which words, but the idea is something from Torah is important enough, make important enough to put it as the thing through which you see the world. Your hands, when they do their work, make sure the ideals of Torah guide you. Torah is not just to stay in that ark to be pulled out at a bar bat mitzvah, a Shabbos morning, or other times. It's to be the guide to carry us through. In fact, we are commanded, believe it or not, to write our own Torah. To write the Torah, those lines and words and ideals of Torah that will guide us as we walk out the doors of the sanctuary, out the doors of the synagogue, and into the world. And the question to ask yourself is, if I were to take certain words or ideals of Torah to guide me, what would they be? We'll talk about that in a little bit. But now we're at the sea. It's about to split, and we need to walk through. And we'll thank God for getting us through the most difficult of situations. Micha Mocha is on page 40. Let's sing together. Madeline, come on up. V'shamru is a piece from the book of Exodus, a quote that talks about Shabbat being a sign of the covenant, the brit, between God and the Jewish people. The notion is that we keep Shabbat. It's like that wedding ring. God is our God. We are one of God's people. And we live this world through the words of Torah. Achad Ha'am, one of the great early Zionists, cultural Zionism, said that more than the Jewish people have kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. For when we come in here and when we pray and when we're with community and when we learn, we recognize that there is a future and we will get through and it will be okay. So let's chant together, sing together, Vishamru.
Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinavash, Shabbat vayinavash, Shabbat vayinavash. Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam.
And so we're approaching the Amidah, that central prayer, that standing prayer. And the first prayer, Avot v'Imahot, includes a line from the book of Exodus. Moses is at the burning bush. God says, take off your shoes, you're on holy ground. And God calls out to Moses, and Moses, among the questions asked, who are you? When I go down to the Israelites to say that you will have come, that you have heard them and will take them out of Egypt, who do I say has spoken? And God says, Ani Elohei Avicha, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov. I am the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the God of Sarah, the God of Rebekah, the God of Rachel, and the God of Leah. When we pray this prayer, we are standing shoeless, if you will, on holy ground, if you will, before the burning bush, or at least the Ner Tamid, before God's presence, opening our hearts to hear God's call. Let me invite you to turn to page 48 as we rise for the Amidah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ahel Hagadol Hagibor Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Vekone Hakol Vezocher Chazdei Avot Ve'imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem Ma'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarai
Page 53 at the top of the page. Page 53, we pray in English together. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. We take a few moments for silent prayer, praying either the words on the pages through page 61 or those in your heart. When you are finished, please be seated.
לעסוק בדברי תורה.
Lucille,
לעסוק
will you just go
בדברי
grab a talit and meet me on the bima? No prayer book.
לעסוק בדברי תורה. לעסוק בדברי תורה. לעסוק בדברי תורה. לעסוק בדברי תורה. לעסוק בדברי תורה, לעסוק בדברי תורה. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kahadosh Shemo. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Close your prayer books. Put them on the seat. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And clap your hands. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 Goel koe cheret ilmadu to the Torah. V'sakoyel goy cheret, lo yisakoyel goy cheret, lo yildu od milchama, lo yisakoyel goy cheret, lo yildu od milchama. Hallelujah, hallelujah,
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah,
hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Please be seated. So, reading Torah today, we have Tali Sands. So Tali come up, and our Gabbai, our teacher of Torah, and who has and Patty's reading too, and Patty Wilson too, our two readers, and to lead us, to help us, our Gabbai, Diane Townsend. The blessings of Torah are on page 250. 250. We're going to be reading number 2 on the sheets. Some of you have these. If not, I have a few more. But number 2 has what I hope is the Torah portion. Anyone need some Torah sheets? Okay, so I'm going to actually invite you to anyone who wants them, you'll pass them around. Now, the question comes up, why do we read Torah on a Friday night? Because everybody knows you only read Torah on Saturday morning or the market days, Mondays and Thursdays. And we also know that the people who absolutely know that don't eat milk and meat together or shrimp cocktails or pork rice and didn't drive here because you only walk on Shabbos and more.
If you need a Torah sheet, raise your hand.
Go, Rabbi. Okay, and it'll be coming around, so keep your hand up because she can see it. Torah is supposed to be read when people gathered. And people gathered in shul on Saturday mornings. And people gathered at the farmers' market, which was on Mondays and Thursdays. But what we find out over time is that you're not going to farmers' markets when I'm there, so we can't be reading Torah then. And in truth, most of us are not here on a Saturday morning. I mean, I am. Cantor Doug is, but...
Definitely going to be here tomorrow.
Oh, it's going to be great. I'm coming twice. It's going to be double-headed with Diane, too. But, so, then we don't get to read and hear and learn from Torah. So we read it on, this is our gathering night. We're at the rabbi's tish, the rabbi's table. And we'll sit around and we'll read some mifarshim, some ancient and modern commentators, and see if there's a lesson in this ancient scroll that has meaning for us today. So reading Torah are 2 of our previous adult B'nai Mitzvah. These are people who didn't become Bar Bat Mitzvah as children, but did later on in life when they finally really hit 13. And we have a class about every 2 years. The next one, we're going to have an informational meeting Tuesday in October, and there's information on the back page on when that meeting is. You need to be a congregant at Or Ami. And part of the partnership, and then you can study with Diane, myself, Cantor Doug, Rabbi Julia, and others. So, who's reading first? Our Morah, our master teacher, Diane, Patty, and we'll do for the blessing. For this first Aliyah, those who are ready to cross through a sea, who thought that the sea was closed before them, thought that someone was coming after them, and recognized that the sea would split, and are ready to walk through to some new hope, some new possibility, the promise of the promised land. If that's you, and I'm not going to ask you why, you know why, let me ask you to please rise. Let me have you on page 250. You all will do the blessing. 1, 250. You can do it. Say it. I was kidding that you had to be a member to be able to do certain prayers. Blessings on 250. 1, 2, 3.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah.
Lo yakum echad beish lechol avon uchol chatat bechol chet asher yecheta al pi shnei edim al pi shlosha edim yakum davar. Ki yakum et Hamas beish la'anot bo Sarah.
Ve'amdu shnei ha'anashim Asher lahem hariv lifnei Adonai lifnei hakohanim vehashoftim asher yihiyu bayamim hahem v'darshu hashoftim heitev vehine ed sheker ha'ed Sheker ana ve'achiv.
So for the final blessing of this aliyah, some of us have waited to hear the sound of the shofar, those strong notes, those broken notes, that alarm clock to wake us up and say it's time to make that change. And some of you, since last Rosh Hashanah to this moment now, took in the sound of the shofar, heard its call to get up and move forward, to change your direction, to adjust your life, to face the difficult and move forward. If that is you, we invite you to please rise. I won't ask you why. If you have heard the sound of the shofar this past year and made changes for the better of your life, let me invite you to please rise. The blessing is on page 250 at the bottom of the page. 1, 2, 3.
Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah temet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach, all the power to you. Thank you. Mazel tov. So Torah, it calls us forward. It calls us to act. It calls us to change. It calls us to find those things that will be the guide to move forward into life. So I collected a number of texts, some from Torah, some from teachers to guide me forward. I'm going to invite people to read some English. If you want to read when I ask, you'll raise your hand. I'll bring over the mic. I'll hold on to the mic. And we'll read together. So I want to start by reading the translation of the Hebrew we just read. Number 2, someone want to read some English? All the way in the back, I'm coming. Okay.
A single witness may not validate against a person any guilt or blame for any offense that may be committed. A case can be valid only on the testimony of 2 witnesses or more. If a man appears against another to testify maliciously and gives false testimony against him, The two parties to the dispute shall appear before the Eternal, before the priests or magistrates in authority at that time, and the magistrate shall make a thorough investigation. If the man who testified is a false witness, if he has testified falsely against his fellow, you shall do to him as he schemed to do to his fellow. Thus you will sweep out evil from your midst. Others will hear and be afraid, and such evil things will not again be done in your midst.
You know, there are people who say that we should just deal with the spiritual issues of life. That's what synagogue is about. That Torah and Talmud and Jewish law and the like doesn't deal with and shouldn't deal with things that are political or public policy or whatever. And you see right here, everything is in Torah. We're in the Parshat Shoftim, and it is talking about trials. I'm not going where you think I'm going. But it talks about trials. It talks about witnesses. It reminds us that truth is critical, that we must stand up and speak the truth. And if someone tries to falsify their testimony, what was going to be done to the guilty party shall be done to him. And of course, it's him or her, but Torah was written with a primarily masculine focus, or written either by humans who were men or Hebrew defaults to male. We understand it as Reform Jews. It's speaking to men and women. But the idea is when you get up in that witness box and you speak, you must speak the truth. It cannot be one person who brings someone to justice, but two or more. And we listen to their testimony. Because the idea is one can do his or her own bidding, two or more. Now you're in a place where something really is going on. So there's a warning to people as we go off into the court of law or the public square or in business or in schools or anywhere in life, that we need to speak the truth, that we need to have a moral compass in front of us to go forward. Well, that, of course, is just for the regular person, right? Or not? Let's look at... Oh, son of a gun, I did not print out that. Did I not? Hang on. Look at... okay, look at number 5. A little out of order. I need someone who will read another part of this Torah portion, Deuteronomy 17, 18 through 20. Someone will read some English. Okay, I'm coming over here.
And it will be when he ascends to the throne,
The king of Israel,
and he will write for himself a copy of this Torah, Mishneh Torah,
which means a copy of or an edition of the Torah,
on a scroll from before the priests from Levi. And it will be with him, and he will read from it all the days of his life, so that he should learn to fear eternal his God, to observe all of the matters in this Torah, and of all these laws to do them, so that he not consider himself better than his brothers, and so that he not turn aside from the commandment, to the right or to the left, nor his children in the midst of Israel.
So look at this. All the way from Am Haaretz, the persons in the land, the regular person, the common man or woman, all the way up to the king of Israel. You shall write a Torah and carry that Torah with you. In fact, when we talk about mitzvot, of religious deeds of highest level, every person is commanded to write a Torah. Now, what's fascinating about this is how many Torah scrolls, how many Torahs does the king need? 1. Can anyone imagine another answer? 2. Why 2? Because it says so. 1 for himself and 1 for everyone else. God. 1 for the community. 1 that stays in the ark. And 1 that he carries with him. That each of us, the kings, the leaders, should have an extra copy of the founding document of our people and recognize And remember that these words guide us and should guide every decision we make. We shouldn't go left and we shouldn't go right. Or at least the values should guide us. Well, it's interesting. Now flip back. Go to number 2. Someone will read some English. Coming all the way back and around. So Hilchot Tefillin u'Mezuzah v'Sefer Torah is a piece from Maimonides, one of the great scholars, and he says,
a single witness may not... Oh, 3? Okay. It is a positive commandment for each and every man of Israel to write a Sefer Torah.
And we say man or woman.
For himself, as it says, now write this poem for yourselves, and even if his ancestors lehim a Sefer Torah, it is still a mitzvah for him to write one of his own. And if he writes it in his own hand, it is like he received it from Mount Sinai.
Has anyone written a letter in a Torah scroll? Okay, a handful. Michelle and I did at a previous synagogue. To write a letter in Torah with a scribe is the greatest of gifts. It's like you helped bring Torah forward to the next generation. There's an argument about what it can be. Does it have to be a scroll? Well, scholar Dina Weiss actually tells us. She's a teacher I learned from online, from back in New York, wise Talmudic scholar.
The Rambam teaches that every person should write a Sefer Torah.
Sefer Torah means a Torah scroll.
And he underscores the importance of this mitzvah by quoting Rav.
Who's another rabbi.
One who is able to write the Torah with their own hand experiences a sense of true ownership over the Torah, an intimacy and immediacy with the texts as if it came directly from Sinai. One can purchase a book and in that way always have access to the Torah. One can hire a scribe and purchase a scroll in order to make Sefri Torah.
That's multiple Torahs.
More generally available, but nothing compares to encountering the words of the Torah through the writing, through forming of the letters and words oneself. But if the Torah can be studied and shared without my hand, why does it matter if I write the text myself? Why is writing a Torah so significant? What does writing accomplish that purchasing or borrowing a Torah from someone else cannot?
So there's a series of very important Torahs. It says everybody's got to bring Torah and continue Torah in the world. You can do it by buying a book and studying it. You can do it by paying a scribe. You can write one yourself. Very few people write one themselves. They write one by hiring a scribe to do it, or communities, whole communities do it. But the question to be asked is, why is it significant to write a Torah by your own hand, as opposed to borrowing or carrying around someone else's book? So I throw that open. Why would it be significant to have a Torah that you have written, that you have brought into creation? Ideas, go. Tell me more.
Well, if you put something into creating a document that you want to use for anything, then you own that piece because you have a relationship with it.
Beautiful. So it's ownership, but it's also, you add another piece, it's a sense of relationship, deeper relationship to it. What else? Yes. Tell us your name when you do it.
Gary, it helps you remember it. Sort of when you're studying for a test and you're outlining things, the act of writing it imprints it in your mind.
Great. How many of you, when you were in college, wrote your notes over and over again, big, small, different ways? I find that when the kids type it, when I got into grad school, it wasn't quite the same as when I wrote it by hand that brought it into muscle memory. Our son Daniel was a kinesthetic learner. When he did his spelling, he didn't just write it. He went A, B, C. He danced it, moved around, got it. He embodied those letters, and then it stuck. And when he sat at a table and wrote it or just said it, went in one ear and out the other. Why else is it important to do it by your own hand? What do you gain from it? Yes. Okay, so it ensures that we leave it for the next generation. Beautiful. And it's good to see, as Torah says, that the wisdom comes from the men. Women, say something. Why else is it important to have Torah? He says facetiously. Go ahead. I am now committing that these ideas and words of Torah will be mine, and I will bring them forward. Thank you.
There is a woman's Torah. I went to a biennial where they actually had a scribe, and I got to write in that Torah. And it was a very magical thing.
The Women of Reform Judaism sisterhoods, after years of Torahs being scribed by men, hired one of the 3 or 4 now sofrot, women who are Torah scribes, to scribe a Torah, primarily supported by and made happen and written in by women holding onto the hands of this soferet, or sofer, and created this Torah scroll. The other important work of Torah by women is the Dr. Tamara Eskenazi and Dr. Andrea Weiss Women's Torah Commentary. It's the green Torah commentary we use, and we'll be using it more in our monthly Torah study on Tuesday nights coming up in the next year. It provides a new lens into Torah, actually a lens that was passed down midor lador from generation to generation, just never got into some of the books that the men wrote, and it's very, very powerful. What else? Why writing a Torah? Tell us your name. Aaron.
It would force you to spend a really long amount of time with the Torah and the text in order to be able to do that.
Sometimes relationships are built, and meaning is built, and connection is built, not by quality time, but by quantity time, by being there with it. The more you spend with Torah, in shul, the more it seeps in and becomes who you are. Any other ideas? Okay, so let's push forward. Skip. Number 6. From these verses, we learn that aside from the general expectation of an ordinary person to have their own Torah, the king of Israel is required to write and have his own copy of Torah, the Mishnah Torah. The Talmud explains, meaning Jewish law, that the reason the king has a separate instructions regarding the writing his Torah scroll, Sefer Torah, is that whereas an ordinary person, not normal, ordinary, has to write a single scroll, the king has to write 2. And the Talmud Bavli goes on to say, both instructions are necessary to teach the king 2 Torahs. He will write for himself a copy. He writes 2 Torahs for himself, one that goes in and out with him and one that remains in his storehouse. One that goes in and out with him becomes like an amulet, and those words are tied onto his arm and his hand, as if to say, I will always keep God before me, since God is my right hand, and I will not stumble. So the king is not just supposed to write a scroll like this, but a compact scroll that has in it the words and ideas that will guide his kingship. Now, we are taught elsewhere in Torah, I think in Exodus, that we are a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. That each of us, now that there is no Kohanut, that there is no real priesthood in Israel, there's no temple in Jerusalem on the Temple Mount, we become the ritual leaders, each and every one of us, of Israel. We are part of that kingdom of priests. We are kings of holiness and queens of holiness, each one of us. And so each of us have to write that Torah that's an amulet on our arm, that takes the verses of Torah that will guide us and carry us forward. So let me ask this question. If you were to take some of Torah, all the Torah you've learned in all your life, and you were to pick one verse or one idea or one story to make sure you wrote in your Torah to carry forward to guide you in life, what might that line, idea, value, teaching, story of Torah be? And why? There are many right answers. 613 mitzvot, 603, 1,550 letters and words. What ideas of Judaism, of Torah, do you carry before you, would you carry before you, to guide you in life? Tell us your name and go ahead. That, why? Beautiful. The responsibility to pass it down. And to do that, by the way, you have to have your own Torah. You have to understand this and you have to know to be able to pass the values down. Because just getting up and reading a couple of words of Torah and having a ceremony doesn't pass Torah down. It's a ceremony, very important one. But what happens next, before and after, is critical. What else would be in your Torah, Diane?
Don't put stumbling blocks before a blind person, and don't gossip about the deaf. Talks about how we have to treat each other.
Okay. A blind person may be one who's physically blind, and it may be one who doesn't know something that's going on. Don't put a stumbling block before them. Beautiful. What else? Beautiful. From Genesis, each one of us in this room, each one of us in Calabasas and Agora, each one of us in this world is created B'Tselem Elohim. No matter what we look like, male or female, or any other gender, no matter our skin color, no matter how wealthy, not wealthy, what we do, what we don't do. Every one of us created B'Tselem Elohim. Those who live in this wonderful country of America, those who are guests here, those who are foreigners, those who live in England, and those who live in Africa, those who live in Israel, the Jews, the Arabs, the Christians, the Muslims, the Baha'is, everyone is created B'Tselem Elohim. And that's why, by the way, that verse is written right up here in Torah to remind us that we have to be radically inclusive of everybody. And we can't say because you're part of a group, you are inherently problematic or bad. Who knows that better than almost anyone? We Jews, because it's happened to us again and again. And we are commanded never let that happen in our world. It's hard to do. What else would you put in the Torah that you will? Go ahead.
Well, this is more implied, but
Colin. Ozi v'zimrat yah vayhili lishua, which means?
That, like, you have to step forward in your path.
That you have to step forward in your path, that God is with you, that you have to walk forward and find your path and go forward. One of our Madrachei Shira, our young song leaders who are leading our congregation into new music under the tutelage of Cantor Doug and others. There's someone else over here? Go ahead, Elijah.
Yeah. B'shvili nivra ha'olam, the world was created for my sake. But I actually think that translation doesn't quite get across that it's more towards, I would interpret it as responsibility rather than just a gift.
The whole world was created as for me, that's a responsibility. For everyone. It's a responsibility that this world is not just for me, and this community is not just for me, and this country is not just for me, and this state is not just for me, and the food is not just for me, and the air is not just for me. It's all for everyone. That's a responsibility. Beautiful. Anyone else? Let me find two more. Then we'll have 10. Michael. You shall teach it diligently unto your children. The only way the Lador Vador thing happens is if we teach it from one generation to the next. And what's implied in that is we know what we're teaching. In a little bit, we'll talk about how we adults can continue to learn even as the young people learn. One more. Hit me up, folks. And thus the 9 commandments were in Moses' arms as he walked down the... Going, first cookie, anyone?
Joshua.
No, go ahead.
Oh.
Beautiful, Jack. Welcome the stranger, because we were strangers in the land of Egypt. Remember, more than it says keep kosher, which some think is the center of Judaism, or keeping Shabbat, which we read as a sign of the covenant between God and the Jewish people, more than those 2 mitzvot, those 2 commandments, more times in Torah, the statement that Jack just said, take care of the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Israel, in Egypt. Strangers translated in some places as someone you don't know, a non-Israelite, a non-citizen. Take care of them because we remember that experience. It appears at least 36 times, double chai, center to who we are. Beautiful. We just put together 10 verses of Torah at least that we would wrap around our arms. The last one is this from the right-hand side of the ark, Kedoshim Tehiyu, you are holy, for I, Adonai, your God, am holy. You can rise up, each and every one of us, to another madrigah, another step on the ladder of holiness. If only we set our minds and open our hearts to see the inherent holiness within us and within those around us. If you count your blessings, you'll end up seeing more blessings. Much more to learn from Torah. You can take these sheets if you want and read more. I will just point out one thing. If you turn to the last page with the cute little pictures, if you put on your reading glasses, you'll see that Torah continues to be learned in Congregation Orami. In the bottom right-hand corner, come to Nosh and Drosh at Lovey's Deli. 12:30, 1:30, I think that's this Thursday. $20, I think, gets you a half sandwich and a salad and a drink. We're almost filled up. I think there's about 4 or 5 spaces left. We're going to go and we're going to learn a little bit, and we're going to eat a lot, and they're going to give us the room once a month, and we'll go play. So sign up online if you want to do that. You can't just show up because there's a limited amount of space. Adult B'nai Mitzvah in October. In October, you'll find there's a meeting for adults. If you have not become bar bat, how many people became a bar bat mitzvah as an adult? Okay, take a look around. Okay, how many, hands down, how many became bar bat mitzvah as a kid? Hands down. How many people are in the process of becoming bar bat mitzvah? How many are going to become bar in the process? Are you learning Judaism? Get that hand up. Right. Okay. Good. Okay. Becoming bar bat mitzvah in the next 2 weeks? Oh my gosh, wow. How many people never became a bar bat mitzvah? This is your chance, the most powerful experience. You study with Diane 3 weeks a month, and on the 4th week...
Wait.
What?
You said 3 weeks a month.
Yeah.
3 weeks?
3 weeks out of the month.
Oh.
Oh, not for 1 month. Sorry.
Okay.
It's a
You
2-year
said
program.
3 weeks a month.
Okay. It's 3 weeks out of a month. And the 4th, you'll be with other
You just
adults
like
to study
scared everybody
Torah
away.
with
you
either
have to
myself
mortgage
or-
your house, and you have to 8 hours a day.
Okay. And lastly, if you already became a bar bat mitzvah, you should get the ceremony and the experience again. So we are starting, after many years of talking about it, Kabbalah Torah, an adult confirmation program. For 2 years of study. Once a month, you'll study with either Rabbi Julia or me, or Cantor Doug, about big ideas in Judaism. If you've learned it, trust me, you're going to learn a different view and deeper. And then once a month with the adult B'nai Mitzvah students and others, we'll have Torah study with either one of the clergy, one of our interns, or scholars from the community. It is going to be a powerful experience. It is a commitment for a couple of years, but it will be transformational. And both the adult B'nai Mitzvah and adult confirmation will culminate with a beautiful service up on the Bima, separate services, but it will be a powerful experience. If you want to understand what it is, talk to one of the people who became bar bat mitzvah, and it'll be great. Lastly, at the bottom corner, we're going to Italy, God willing. I'm calling it, it's for adults only. I'm unofficially calling it food and wine and a little bit of Jewish. No, it's Jewish Italy. How many people have been to Italy before? Okay, so many of you. But we're going to look at it in a much, even if you went to these synagogues or did this, we're going to look at it through the lens of Jewish learning and growth. Cantor Doug and I and our wives will be there. Our guide, Lana, will be taking us through. And we will look primarily in Rome and Florence, with side trips to Tuscany, to Pompeii, to a place called Little Jerusalem. I forget the name is macaroni. That will be powerful. We will have plenty of time to go walk off on your own, and plenty of deep learning too. If you want, there will be a 2-day add-on trip ahead of time to go to Venice, and we'll go through the Jewish ghetto and other places. The trip will be limited. It's not going to be as large as our last trip. It was a great trip to Israel, but we had 41 people. It was a large group. Just getting everyone to go to the bathroom took about an hour and 45 minutes. So this will be a limited group. We're having a meeting at the end of the month on the August 30th. And the itinerary is already up on our website, orami.org/travel. So check it out. Come with us. It's open to the community, though. Orami, people in the Orami partnership will have priority. And so, Torah's out, our holy book. It's time to take a moment for holy prayer. When Torah is out, the source of Torah is chesed The purpose of Torah is chesed, is kindness. It's also refuah, healing. And we are a community that recognizes, just like the sounds of Torah are broken into 3 and 9 before the Tekiyah Gedolah comes and unites it, that we carry around brokenness because of physical illness or emotional struggle, spiritual turmoil, mental illness. So as a community, when we're together, particularly when Torah is out, we take a moment to say a blessing of healing. Some of you are asking for healing for your loved ones. As is our tradition, I'll go around the room, and as I pass where you're seated, call out the name. Don't whisper it, but say aloud those for whom you're asking for blessings of healing. Say their name and relationship to you, like my Uncle Fred or my friend Sophie. And then we'll sing the blessing together. So tonight we ask for blessings of healing for our congregant Lisa Wiviet and her family as she struggles. For all of them and all of us, I'm going to ask everybody to stand up for a moment. And I'm going to ask the people in the center of the circle to just extend your hand to hold on to one of the Atzei Chaim or the wood of the Torah. And then everybody else extend your hands and let's hold on one to each other. So people in here, grab onto the Torah. Let's everybody hold on to someone else who's holding on to Torah. And let's extend until we're one community gathered, connected to Torah. May the healing power of our ancient book and the healing power of our modern community bring us to wholeness and fullness as we sing.
Our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Yisheberach imotenu lekor habracha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
that healing is about this. Sometimes you can't stand on your own. Sometimes you can't stand the life you're in. Sometimes you can't stand the situation you're in. But if someone is holding on to you, or you're holding on to something like Torah or community, you have an anchor that can get you through one moment and then the next. That's what community is about. That's what we try to do. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. I'd like to invite up now our Benot Mitzvah, our Bat Mitzvah students to join me up here on the bima, and also Susie Gruber, whose birthday it is today, and she could think of no better way of celebrating it. Come here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Susie. Happy birthday to you.
But it's not about me tonight. It's about these two lovely young ladies who I get the honor of standing next to at this moment to tell you how beautiful you were tonight. And from sitting out there, it looks like it was really easy, but I know it wasn't so easy. You had to learn your Hebrew letters, and when you thought you knew it, you went and sat with Diane, and then you had to work a little harder. And then you had to learn your vowels, and when you thought you knew those, you met with Diane, and you had to work a little harder. And then you put the letters and the vowels together, and you thought you know, well, you get it. But the point is that it turns out to be excellence. And that's what you two have accomplished. You accomplished excellence in your reading of Torah. And I know you had to learn prayers, and you sang them so beautifully tonight. And you had to write speeches. It was a lot of hard work, and I congratulate both of you. You did it perfectly, and bravo to you both. And if you look out there, look at all these people that are so proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
And as a representative of our congregation and of our board, we too are very proud of all the work you did. And we're also very proud of all the hard work we do here at Congregation Army and the support from our rabbis, Rabbi Paul, Rabbi Julia, Cantor Doug, and of course from Diane. So we thank you all, and I hope you all appreciate how much work goes into what we do and to what these beautiful young ladies have done. So what I want to do right now is share a little bit of both of you with the congregation. That's okay? I have to know a little bit about both of you. I'll start with you, Madeline. We know that this is a very big weekend for you. One of the reasons we know it is because Brooke and I stayed in town this weekend. So, Madeline, you are in 8th grade at Lindero Canyon. And I spoke with your mom, and she told me how creative you are, how you like to build sets, you like to build scenes, you like to build forts, sometimes with your brother, where's Josh? Sometimes with your brother, Josh. And she told me that you are one of the kindest young ladies, that you are always helping those who need assistance, whether they're special needs, whether they need help with illnesses or disabilities, that you are always right there to help them. And that's marvelous. It shows you have compassion, you have empathy, and it's really a window to your soul that you should be proud of because your parents are very proud of you. I spoke with your dad. Where's Dad? There's Dad with the camera. Wave to Dad. Hi, Dad. He said you have a fabulous personality. He so much enjoys spending time with you and that you are so very loving. And Josh, is she a good big sister? Yeah, that's what I hear.
Best big sister ever.
Wow. And for your mitzvah project, I know that you have worked with the Jewish Home for the Aging. And that's fabulous. And for all us empty nesters, soon to be Alta Cockers, we better be nice to this one because our children may be putting us there soon. So we thank you for all your hard work and mazel tov to you. Okay. And Mia, you're 8th grade at AC Stell. And I talked to your family, and your mom tells me that you're an honor student and you're a gymnast. And you work out gymnastics 5 days a week.
Wow.
And your Hebrew, and your schooling, and you compete regionally. Wow, that's amazing. And your mom also, where's Mom? I saw Mom earlier. There's Mom. And Mom also told me that you are just the perfect person that anybody would want to be. And she loves you endlessly. You're devoted, and you're very self-driven. And that, too, is so remarkable. I talked to your father. Where's Dad? There's Dad. I talked to your father, and he told me also that you're very self-driven, and you're very compassionate, and when you put your mind on something, you get it done. And I know you have a little brother here, Micah. There he is. Is she the best big sister to you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Micah's
Smart
breeze.
answer.
And for your mitzvah project, you did something also that's remarkable. You worked with Save a Child's Heart. And for those of you who don't know, Save a Child's Heart is an Israeli-based international humanitarian project that performs life-saving heart surgery on children from developed countries, regardless of nationality, race, or religion. And they do aftercare. And for anyone who had the good fortune to travel with Rabbi and Cantor this year on the adult trip to Israel, we had the opportunity to visit Save a Child's Heart. And it is an amazing place. And I understand that you wrote a book about the heart and about love, and you did illustrations. And I understand that book is going to Israel in October. I think your grandparents are taking it. That is just amazing. Good for you. We have such pride in what you two have done. You're shining stars. You're shining stars to your family. You're shining stars here at Congregation Orami. And I just want to tell you, continue to do what you love. We hope one of the things you love is walking through these open doors, walking to this home away from home, and continuing with your Jewish education. And as a token from your congregation, we have some gifts. Thank you. For both of you, Madeline and Mia. And Mazel Tov to both of you.
Semen tov, mazel tov, semen tov, semen tov, mazel tov, semen tov, semen tov, mazel tov, semen tov. Yehelanu, 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 ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulechol
So a few things to remind you about as we prepare to put the Torah back to the Ark and move into concluding our service. First of all, next Friday night, we're not going to be here, but we're going to be at my gym in Woodland Hills for a Tot Shabbat. Cantor Doug. Is it next week?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I got it right here.
I'm going to double
Yeah, the
check.
24th. I've got it. Cantor Doug, Rabbi Paul, and Rabbi Julia, who will be back, will be at my gym for a special event, especially for children between the ages of 2.5 to 8 years old. Space is limited, so you need to RSVP. We're going to tumble. We're going to take Torah and throw it up, go through the... No, we're not. No, we're not going to do that.
That's at 5 o'clock.
That's at 5 o'clock, right. So we have that service. This weekend
Well,
we have...
then after that, there's services here.
Yeah, I don't...
For the adults.
Oh, so interesting. I didn't put it on here.
Okay, well, I have it down on my calendar.
7:30 service?
6:30.
6:30.
That's what
I have to check. I don't remember.
Okay.
Okay, so there might or might not be. But the following week, August 31st, is going to be a beach Shabbat at Tower 12 on Zuma Beach.
That's what I have.
Come dressed in shorts, T-shirts, bring a sweatshirt, bring a picnic. We picnic starting at 5, and then we do a service as the sun goes down at 6:30. It is fantastic, great for all ages. Join us there. A couple of other things that are going on. Want to let you know that on August 25th, our Family Fun Fest will take place at De Anza Park. It's going to be a great games and inflatable things to jump on, arts and crafts, and more. RSVP for that on the website. Nosh and Drosh, I told you about. The board of directors is feeding the hungry on the 26th at the end of the month as part of our coalition with churches. In fact, if you're a member of the Congregational Orami Board of Trustees, Board of Directors, let me ask you to please rise. You know, if you're on the board, hello. And we want to thank you for your service. If you are, please be seated. If you are a member of the partnership committee, or what other people call membership committee, but we see it as a partnership, let me ask you to please rise. You're that. Stand up. Stand up. Okay. Any of these people and our board, thank you for sharing the words about the learning about the gem of this congregation. Those of you who are part of the partnership of ORME, I have a request. Over the next month before the high holidays, reach out to a friend, preferably someone in a Jewish family, though we're welcoming and open to everybody, someone who is not part of another synagogue, and invite them to join you at something at ORME. You know that when you show up, it touches your heart. So bring others here, share the joy. Now for everybody, the high holidays are going to be at the Thousand Oaks. It's that way, right? Thousand Oaks, and then it curves around. Thousand Oaks Civic Arts Plaza, all the way that way, somewhere. And you have to get ticket that way?
Yeah,
okay.
that way.
It's in. I'll put it in the GPS, and then I'll go. It's open to the whole community. You have to get tickets. If you are a partner at ORME, part of our, what others call membership, you get complimentary tickets for your immediate family, and you can purchase an extended family discount. But those, you have to register for your tickets online. We need names and information on everybody. It's a security thing in this world we live today. So make sure you do that. And if you haven't done that already, and you wait till like the week before the high holidays, it's a sin. It's just a sin, because you're making my poor staff worry that you don't have tickets. They'll be up online. I'll be thinking, oh my God, the Schwartzes don't have tickets, and then I'll have to call you up and do it. And instead of being with someone who really needs me, so go online on Sunday. You just got an email, most of you in your email box, either from me or from the congregation, with the link. Yeah. No. It's August 31st. Yes. There's another. You can't get to the beach too much. It's just good. It's the way the cantor and the rabbis find a way of sort of dressing down and just being out there. So make sure you register for your high holiday tickets. You need to be, if you're renewing your partnership and haven't done that yet, you have to do that before you can get on and do the other thing. There was that, and there was one last thing I want to tell everybody. Yes, the phone. They're calling in for information. They're so excited about doing it. Thank you for being here tonight, being with us to celebrate Shabbat, to learn Torah, to be together. Remember, as you go out to the oneg, a delicious oneg there, that community is formed by you, not by him and me alone, but by all of you. So thank you to our Torah readers. Thank you to Diane for preparing. If you know how to read Hebrew and read Torah and want to read Torah at some future Torah study Shabbat, talk to Diane. You can't do it in transliteration. You got to work in the words themselves. But we'd love to have you do it. Let me invite everybody to please rise as we move Torah
וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש עמנו חדש עמנו
Let's remain standing and turn in our prayer books. Turn in our prayer books to page 294. 294. We become acutely aware as the high holy days approach that there are those who have a place in our hearts but no longer will occupy a place at our tables. Loved ones who have died at this season and in years past. Those we call into our hearts as our own. Some of you are remembering your loved ones at this time of Kaddish. As I bring my hand around the room again, I invite you to mention their names in relationship to you aloud. This evening we are remembering
My mother Bella, my nephew Brett, my sister-in-law Linda, my friend Henry, my friend Charles. My parents Bob and Esther.
My sister Vanessa.
for all of them and all we hold in those who have no one to mention their names, we say together on 294. Yit Gadal v'yit Gadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma Divrach Rutei V'yamlich Malchutei B'chayechon v'yomechon V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael B'agalau v'zman kariv Imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Leolam U'Lalmei Almaya Yit Barach v'yishtabach v'yit Ba'ar v'yit Ramam v'yit Naseh v'yit Hadar v'yit Aleh v'yit Alal Shmei D'Kedusha Brichu Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran be'ama v'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'imrumav u'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace to us, for all Israel and all the world, as we say together. Amen. In the month of Elul, we sound the shofar either once a week on Shabbat. I'm now carrying, as a spiritual practice, carrying around a smaller shofar, and any chance I get with anyone I see, I sound the shofar. It's my way of trying to keep the holiness and the challenge of rising up to holiness in front of me, even as the cantor and I, Rabbi Julie and others, work towards the details of making sure the services are meaningful and beautiful. Remember, Torah, the shofar opens with one whole note, but then it breaks down into 3 and then into 9 until it repairs together into one long Tekiah Gedolah. It's like life. We come out most usually in one piece, but we experience brokenness. We experience shattering. And then, with those 3 things, teshuvah, repairing our relationships, tzedakah, lifting others up, and tefillah, centering ourselves, we bring ourselves back to wholeness. We write that Torah that we carry around in our hearts and on our sleeves, that founding document that guides us forward. And so, once again, on this evening, Cantor Doug will have you we'll call out the sound. You'll repeat it after him, and then I'll sound it.
Tekiah. Shivarim. Teruah. Tekiah. Put your prayer books down, put your arms around each other. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom.
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 V'ha'amidenu shomreinu.
V'ha'amidenu shomreinu.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Ufros aleinu.
Ufros
Sukkot shlomecha. Ufros aleinu. Sukkot shlomecha.
Sukkot shlomecha.
Amen.
Amen.
Shelter us beneath thy wings.
Shelter us beneath thy wings.
O Adonai.
O Adonai.
Guard us from all harmful things.
Guard us from all harmful things.
O Adonai.
O Adonai.
Keep us safe throughout the nights.
Keep us safe throughout the night.
Till we wake with morning light.
Till we wake with morning
Teach us daily wrong from right.
Teach us daily wrong from
Oh Adonai. Amen. In addition to thanking Cantor Doug, and great to have you back from your summer travels, to have Rachel sing and lead us, lifts us up. If I were to add another verse to the Torah that I carry around, the same verse that's in the mezuzah that's on the doorposts, it's the verse that's at the top curved on our ark. It says, Shema Yisrael, pay attention, all of you Jews, or all of you who struggle to understand what God is. Yud He Vav He Adonai Eloheinu is our God, not just our Jewish God, the God of everything, the source of all existence. Adonai, that existence is echad, is one. It's a reminder as you walk out in the world that's increasingly trying to divide us, to say you're in but you're out, you're good but you're bad, you're part of the community or the state or the country or the world and you're not. That we are part of Adonai Echad. We rise up to oneness, to unity, to holiness. Not just for Jews, but for Christians and Muslims, blacks, whites, yellows, pinks, everybody, gender, you name it. Inclusion is what it's about. Holiness is what it's about. And we get there if we keep that at the forefront of our hearts. And we sing.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. We're going to try to collect the papers and put them on a table out there. Your books, put them on your chairs, and come on out, grab a Kiddush cup of grape juice as we make Kiddush.
Good job, Richard.